Hey Taurus, and welcome to your reading for April 2019. My name is Melanie. This is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate. It's for Taurus sun, moon or rising signs, so check your other signs if it doesn't quite fit for you, or come back in another month or another time. This month I'm using a different deck of tarot cards. I'll leave details of that below, and let's just dive right in. So I do a 5-card spread for monthly readings. So the first card representing the past and past energies which may be relevant to this reading, to this month. The card there is the Sun card. The card representing the present month for Taurus, current issues, current situation. The Empress card came out for you guys. The third card representing any possible obstacles that may show up this month. The Two of Cups card came through. In the fourth position there, representing possible helpful tools this month, the Eight of Pentacles card, and excuse me, the outcome card for the month of April for Taurus. You guys got the Prince of Cups, otherwise known as the Knight of Cups, and the card representing the overall theme. I pull a card from a set of cards that I kind of use as oracle cards, and the card that came through for you guys representing the overall theme for the month is called Ocean, and that represents surrender. It's quite an interesting card. I just am looking at all the cards and just noticed, apart from the word ocean, which has a personal meaning to me, I thought, oh gosh, that's really interesting. But that the tarot cards, 3 of the 5 tarot cards there across the back, have really similar colours to the overall theme card there called Ocean. Just note the blues and the greens, and I really thought when these cards came through for you guys, I thought this looked like a month of love, of lots of feelings, lots of union, abundance, fertility, connection, relationships, emotions. I'll be reading about that card called Ocean or Surrender at the end, so I can't actually recall what it means. I read from a booklet for those particular cards because they often have really specific and really detailed information, but I'm just noticing the theme, I guess, overall of, I think, relationships and love and lots of feelings and lots of flowing, watery kind of energies this month, perhaps. Anyway, let's go through them one by one. Starting with the Sun card in the position of the past and past energies. So the Sun card is a really beautiful card. It's known as the most positive cards in the deck. It's very bright. It represents good luck, happiness, new life, new directions, things seen in the daylight. So that could also mean, given it's a card about positivity, but it could also mean the uncovering of things, things seen in the stark light of day, coming to light, things possibly coming to light, things being seen and revealed. It's a card of joy, of accomplishment, of pleasure, of success, of things being at peace. There's sort of an innocence to this card in this particular tarot deck. You see on the card, the Sun card, there's a man and a woman naked, embracing each other, which is a bit different to the traditional image of the card, which is of a child riding a horse. But both of the cards have a sun in them and sunflowers growing. So it's a card of happiness and joy and clarity. I think a card of connection as well, of new growth. You think of the sun shining on the earth and promoting new growth and new life. Things, brand new day, new momentum, new beginnings, seeing things that have been holding you back, and kind of having new hope about things now. So something wonderful, I think, has happened in your past. Hopefully for every one of us, something wonderful has happened in our past. but something particularly new and bright and happy and sunshiny and about spring and growth and new things, co-creation, fertilization, union of, well, in this card it says male and female, but of course that could be any union going on. So I wonder if you guys are in a new relationship, or there is the sproutings, the new growth of a relationship, whether that's a new one or already established relationship, but something new has come into that domain of your life, bringing great joy and great sunshine over everything, great warmth over everything. And as we move into the month of April, that the card representing this month, the overall, the current issues and current situation, you guys have the Empress card that came out. The Empress is the card of the feminine. She is a matriarch. She's wise. She is the mother. She's very fertile. She's about abundance, luxury, pleasure, beauty, success, growth again. She's potentially about marriage, wealth, being really in a healthy feminine kind of thing. She's very much though about fertility and birth and abundance, creating new things, birthing new things, being pregnant. This is a woman in a position of absolute authority, in her true feminine authority, you know. She's sitting there in all her glory, very calm and very in touch within herself. But I am wondering, particularly because she's about fertility, so I'm wondering, you know, if we had the Sun card in the past there, about new things and new beginnings, and here we are with the energy of something fertile, new, abundant, loving, pleasurable, luxurious almost. I'm wondering if you are not pregnant yet, that you might be, or you're pregnant with an idea or something, this brand new thing that started in the past with that Sun energy is really going through a birth and a growth process now that's very rich, that's very enriching, that's very lush, I want to say. There's such a theme really this month of abundance, you know, kind of glory and not just feminine energy and emotions, but I think of connection and relationships and some really positive things as well. Having said that, in the third card there representing any possible obstacles that may show up this month, you guys have the Two of Cups, which, you know, the Two of Cups is about partnerships, unions, deep soul connection, you know, soulmates, you know, joy, sharing, friendships, romance, really kindred, deep connection, something that blossoms into romance. It could be a relationship that blossoms and blooms over time that may have started as a friendship. Very harmonious match, an open, loving exchange and exchange of good communication. It's a very joyous, loving card about true union, total trust, lots of love and support. Interesting that this is in the position of an obstacle for this month. I think it ties in well, given I think there is something about new growth in a relationship or a new relationship of some sort. I think in the position of obstacles this month, just be mindful that, you know, when we meet someone, when we fall in love with a person, or a project or something new in our lives, we can get a bit swept up in that, and it, you know, can be a little bit blinding to other things, or we may be experiencing a crush or puppy love, you know, and that really pulls us away from, you know, also seeing the true reality of a situation or a person. You know, often in the beginning do we not want to see or acknowledge that, but you know, nothing and no one is perfect. So I think it's a reminder to keep yourself grounded. Have your head in the clouds a bit, and have your heart blooming and bursting with love and joy. but also remember the reality of a situation and a person and your own realities. And maybe you're just focusing on the here and now and just getting very swept up in that, and it's distorting things perhaps a little bit. So maybe that's a warning about that, about the union that you're in. Not a warning about the union, but just to keep your head on your shoulders a little bit. That there may be just too much of this intense love, particularly if it's new and you're only in the dating kind of stage. You may be already going, gosh, let's talk about getting engaged, let's talk about marriage, let's talk about babies, let's talk about moving in together, and which is all good and well, but things need to grow, and you can't rush things. You can't rush good foundations and good healthy growth in a relationship. So just take your time, plenty of time, and just see how things pan out. It looks really lovely and really positive, and just to be a little bit sensible about things, even if you don't want to be. So in the fourth position there, representing possible helpful tools this month, Taurians, the Eight of Pentacles card came through for you guys. This is a card known as the apprenticeship card, of kind of mastering techniques, of being in the back room, toiling away at your work, of developing skills and craftsmanship, sort of building on stuff that you already know, whether that's work or life, but focusing on that and putting in the hard work to keep going. It's a card to remind you, even though things at times may be boring and monotonous, particularly if it's like a job or a project that you've been toiling away on for so long, it's just saying to keep going, and you're really mastering some good techniques, even though it may feel repetitive. This card is about also about building a good foundation and applying consistency in whatever it is that you're working on. And whilst you might just sort of at times want to give up, you're thinking, gosh, this seems really monotonous, or methodical, or I don't want to do the daily repetitive boring things that we all have to do. And when I think of that, I think of housework, I think of cooking, I think of cleaning, I think of getting petrol in the car, I think of waking up every day, of doing some exercise if that's what you do, or keeping a journal, doing meditation, tending to the kids, stuff that day in, day out feels like a real grind. But we need to do in our lives, and also to move forward and move through and move up things. And the way to growth and wealth of wealth in our lives, physically and metaphorically, is to put in that hard work and still toil away. So I'm wondering, on the back of the Two of Cups card there, and I said to just make sure you take your time and keep your wits about you, and just build a good foundation with a person or a project. This card is also saying put in the work, and even though you might want to rush in or jump ahead, or you're just like such in that love bubble and you don't want it to burst, it doesn't have to burst, but you have to remember that you've still got to attend to daily life events. You probably have other commitments, and you've got to do that. You've got to earn some money, or you've got to take care of your responsibilities. But putting in the hard work and toiling away, certainly in a relationship, if this is about a new relationship or new developments in an old relationship, keep going, because it's going to produce some really good rewards. And speaking of those rewards, the outcome card for this month in April is the Prince of Cups, otherwise known as the Knight of Cups. Knights come offering something. And here he comes with a cup, a cup of love, bringing in potentially something new, He's arriving, he's bringing something, he's possibly bringing a proposition, actually a proposition, proposing. This is a knight or a page who's very much about love. It's very romantic, very charming, perhaps lacks a bit of substance, but not too practical. He's very focused on emotions and feelings, a bit of a knight in shining armour. There's a very youthful energy to this card, and he brings messages and brings, I think, potentially a message of love. It's a very passionate card. You know, he's coming with messages from the heart, and you may well be offered something quite unexpectedly, an offer of love or an invitation to something that will bring a very lovely emotional experience. Certainly very loving, you know. The prince is about, he loves to dream. He's so romantic and dreamy and beautiful and full of that watery cups energy. He may well be bringing in new dreams, opening up new things for you with, you know, beautiful poetic grace.